cut off so many, it's just me and bait. I'm trying to run up a bag every day. I'm trying to run up a bag every day. I'm trying to run up a bag every day. I'm trying to run up a bag every day.
What's up, YouTube? This is your boy Kyrie coming at you with another Apex Legends video. Basically this video I want to talk about Rampart. In the background you can see some old footage back when Scrapple City was still a thing. Like, oof. I'm rocking the P2020 gold and G7 Scout, and I don't know, it's just a little fun gameplay. But today I want to talk about Rampart. Rampart is the new legend that Apex Legends is supposed to be dropping, I think August 18th. Right now her abilities look like she's able to put a tactical cover down, and with this cover she can shoot bullets out that get stronger, and it blocks any incoming damage, which is pretty cool. It's a pretty neat concept. Kind of reminds me of like Lifeline's like revive shield, except you can actually shoot out of it, which is a pretty different type of like ability. Her ultimate is a mounted machine gun. I think it's called Sheila. We're gonna see how powerful that is, or how underutilized that is. I'm not exactly sure. And right now her passive looks like she can have something of anything, honestly. She can either get boost to her gun damage, shooting from cover, or she can swap melee to repair structures. We really don't have any idea what exactly that means, if she can build back other people's walls or what. But also she might have a boost to light machine gun, mag capacity, and reload rate. So as we know so far, these abilities sound like they could be a little overpowered, depending on basically how they scale her. But what I want to look at today is really how does she interact with the other legends. We all know Apex Legends is a team game. Like, we have a big list of legends to choose from. We have to figure out how does Rampart fit in this. So basically, I just want to look down through every legend, just kind of see like how she can interact with them, what kind of buffs certain legends are going to get because of her, what kind of nerfs certain legends are going to get. So let's look at the first legend, Bloodhound. Based on Rampart's abilities right now, it looks like she can completely kill a Bloodhound. It looks like a Bloodhound, I mean, even if a Bloodhound uses tactical or his ultimate, if Rampart stands behind her shield and just shoots her ultimate, what can a Bloodhound do? I really don't see how Bloodhound can be useful in a fight against Rampart. If he fights with Rampart, I still don't see how he's useful, because Rampart seems like she's more of a stationary type of character. It doesn't seem like she wants to move around that much, even though she has a gun shield and her turret, everything's mounted, so she can't really move. It doesn't seem like she's a real mobile character in this game. So Bloodhound, I would say, kind of takes a little nerf. Rampart kind of shuts her down. Let's go to Gibby. Gibby looks like it's one of Rampart's biggest counters. First of all, his ultimate just rains down. I mean, if you have a mounted turret and you're behind a shield, hey, you have to throw your ultimate, it rains down, Rampart's dead. Like, Rampart's gonna be forced to move. I'm assuming Gibby's ultimate probably can destroy the gun shield too, so there's no use for that. And then also the dome of protection. I mean, a lot of people, use the dome of protection pretty defensively, but if you have Gibby and use it aggressively, you can use your dome of protection and kind of push up on Rampart. She can't shoot inside your dome of protection, so she can just be shooting, and the dome of protection doesn't have any health, so hey, like, that's an easy push. So Gibby's definitely a big counter to Rampart. I think that's one of the biggest things people probably are going to run in order to basically defeat Rampart. Next we have Lifeline. Lifeline's ability don't really help or hurt her in terms of Rampart. Lifeline's just a helper, so I think Lifeline's probably great on a Rampart team. If somebody goes down, you have basically like two shields, like one you can shoot out of, the other is just a revive shield. So I don't really think Lifeline is going to change the game in any way with Rampart. Lifeline is just Lifeline. But next we have Pathfinder. I think Pathfinder is another big counter to Rampart. Again, Rampart is going to be very stationary in her turret. Her gun shield should not move. I don't think so. I think it's mountable as well. So somebody like Pathfinder who can zip across the map is going to be perfect. You can basically start off on one side of the gun shield, zip line to the other side, and Rampart shouldn't be able to keep up with it. So Pathfinder would be pretty great counter to Rampart. But at the same time, Pathfinder might also be a great helper to Rampart. Imagine Quad pushing out the storm. You can basically set up with Rampart, her ultimate, around a gun shield, and you can shoot at this team coming out the storm. At the same time, Pathfinder can put a zip line right behind you, so as soon as the storm comes in too close, you can just zip line it back out, and bam, y'all still in position to basically gatekeep behind the storm. So Pathfinder seems like he's like a perfect helper and counter to Rampart. And that kind of goes right back into Wraith. Wraith kind of seems like she has the same type of ability where if she can basically outmaneuver the Rampart, I mean, not take damage while she's in the void or help Rampart set up after the fight, I mean, it seems like she's perfect. She's a perfect helper to Rampart. So Wraith and Pathfinder basically have a similar role in helping and defending against Ramparts. So I expect those to kind of still be the meta. Next, we have Bangalore. Bangalore is another great counter to Rampart. Again, Rampart's turret and her shield is basically going to be stationary. So imagine if you smoke that. If you smoke that, Rampart can't see out the shield, can't see what she's shooting, her turret. It's basically going to be shooting in the dark. Now, Rampart still might get lucky every now and then and hit a few shots and down you, but hey, like, what other thing do you want? Like, that smoke cover. She can't see out. She's got to shoot in the dark. That's up to you to maneuver. I think Bangalore is going to be highly used against Ramparts now because that smoke ability, how far you can shoot it, you can't really get that from any other legend. That kind of basically ties into Caustic as well. Caustic, although his smoke is similar, I think his smoke is a little bit easier to see through than Bangalore's. And his smoke you can't really throw as far. In the right situation, maybe you could use your ultimate and hit Rampart behind her shield, but again, you gotta get relatively kind of close for that. And Bangalore's ultimate, exactly, like her ultimate can basically force you to move too, even though it doesn't do too much damage. So Bangalore and Caustic are kind of opposite in this aspect. Caustic, usually his canisters are stuff that we kind of lean on with Caustic players, but with this Rampart, hey, like, if the Rampart has enough distance, you can't really push on that. But on the other hand, if a Caustic is on a Rampart's team, it can help lock down a building. Imagine have Caustic traps everywhere, and the one main choke point, you have a Rampart shield and her turret. That should be GG. Like, hey, you can't stop it. You won't be able to push with the Caustic traps, and at the same time, Rampart should be laying down consistent fire, assuming you have enough ammo. Next, we have Mirage. Mirage is dead. He's dead. I mean, I don't think Mirage does anything against Rampart. If Rampart's behind her gun shield and her turret, you can throw a Mirage you want to. I mean, Rampart's probably just going to shoot the Mirage. She going to shoot all 6 of them with your ultimate. Or what are you left with? It's going to be really hard for Mirage to outmaneuver against a Rampart. And at the same time, Mirage is one of those mobile characters, so Rampart doesn't really help Mirages either. Mirage is basically kind of dead with Rampart. Octane is kind of in a similar boat. Octane, you would like to think because his mobility, he can kind of wrap around or get to the side of Rampart, but at the same time, those jump pads only jump so far. Your second boost only gets you so far. I think Ramparts can probably stay in their aim for the whole time. So as soon as you're jumping a jump pad, they're jumping with bullets off. Like, Octane is kind of useless, honestly. If you notice, a lot of the mobility type characters are kind of getting a nerf from Rampart. Rampart's kind of forcing you to either get someone way more mobile like Pathfinder or Wraith or Bangalore, or pick somebody defensively. Which goes to our next legend. Probably our best defensive legend is Watson. Watson's perfect on a Rampart team. I don't think she really is a good counter to any Rampart, or Rampart is a good counter to her. With Watson, I mean, similar to Caustic, you can lock down a building, put your pylons around the whole building, the one good choke opening, just put your Rampart gun shield there, and put your Rampart turret. dare somebody to push you. Dare somebody to push you. I mean, there's nothing else basically they can do. So next legend, we have Crypto. Crypto might be a perfect counter to Rampart 2. That's given his last buffs. So I'm assuming Crypto's ultimate would get rid of Rampart's turret as well as their shield. I mean, it only makes sense because Crypto's ultimate gets rid of caustic trash, gets rid of Watson pylons. I will only assume that he's gonna get rid of Rampart stuff as well. And so with that case, I mean, if Rampart's basically bunkered down in a building, you just use your Crypto Joan, use your ultimate, bam, get rid of everything. You mess up their whole setup, and now your team can push, you can rush, you can do whatever you need. So Crypto is a perfect counter against Rampart. Revenant, I don't think Revenant is going to be very useful against Rampart. Even if you enter your little undead state, Rampart again is just going to shoot it. Like, you have to get close enough to Rampart to make that effective, and any good Rampart, I don't think is going to let that happen. So Revenant's pretty useless. I don't really think he helps Rampart either. Again, Revenant's more like a mobility type character. If a Rampart just sitting in a building with his shield and with her shield and her turret, hey, like, I mean, she can get in depth protection, but I don't really see that helping too much. And last but not least, we have Loba. Now, Loba's pretty interesting. So Loba, I think, will be, she can kind of fit a few ways. She could be a good counter to Rampart. Because her tactical basically can teleport you basically behind Rampart. I'm assuming the turret can't do 360. It's probably a mountable turret where it's like probably like 180 or so. So with Loba, if you get behind Rampart, hey, like, it's fair game now. Like, you're right behind her. But at the same time, if you're a Loba on a Rampart team, it allows Rampart to basically set up and you just use your ultimate to gain loot you need. I mean, Rampart's ultimate is going to use heavy ammo, so it's perfect to have a Loba right there where, hey, here's 120 more heavy ammo, like, you can keep using your turret. So Loba would be pretty great on a Rampart team, and it might be a legit counter to Rampart as well. So just to go over it, seems like the more the mobile characters are, the more mobility they have, aren't really good for Rampart. Like, again, Bloodhound, Mirage, Octane, and Revenant aren't really going to be that good against Rampart. This might bring the meta down for those characters. Mirage's huge buff was basically great, but great because it made him useful. But now with a Rampart, it's kind of make him useless. Bloodhound, although his was Eye of the Godfather, I mean, it might work decently, but against a turret, you're gonna be with your Godfather. Like, hey, Rampart's gonna lock that down. Start trying to plan on how Rampart's gonna change the game. It's gonna make you a little more tactical, and it's probably gonna slow the pace down on Apex Legends. If you like this video, just please share, like, and subscribe. If you have any comments or anything I'm forgetting, hey, please leave it in the comments. I would love to hear everybody's opinion and how y'all feel how Rampart's gonna affect the game. Thank y'all. Peace.